The homegirl death row, but then just leave her, fool. She's probably weird, fool. She's a weirdo.
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is
Morning Subway!
for August 10th, 2026. My name is Burnie. Why am I so early on that? Sitting right over there. She arrives just when she means to. It's Ashley Birds. Hello, Burnie.
I'm a wizard.
Okay. This might be a little too revealing, but the reason that I knew early on that we were a good match together is I don't remember exactly what the circumstances were.
Go ahead.
But we were apart from each other because you lived in San Francisco and I lived in Austin.
We were doing the long distance thing, doing a hard mode straight out the gate.
And we were texting, and I think we were talking about the long distance thing and how it's going to be tough to be long distance and communicate over chat instead of seeing each other in person.
We always had Borderlands.
And you replied with, I put on my
Robe and Wizard Hat.
My Robe and Wizard Hat. And the fact that I understood what you meant when you said that is like, oh God, early 2000s meme.
It shorthanded a lot of things for us, which was great.
Put on my Robe and Wizard Hat. It was some old thing where a guy was texting with someone in one of those where like a trolling attempt.
They were like sexting, but it was on, like a chat client or whatever. Was it cybering? And he just kept messing up the whole thing by trying to be a wizard. And the girl kept getting super mad about it. And it was hilarious.
Yeah. Is it just now sending nudes? Is this what they call that? Or do they still say cyber sexting?
I don't think anyone's talking about cybering anymore. Sexting maybe, but I think sexting is that has to involve role play, right? Otherwise, it's just a nude.
Crazy enough.
And they might say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but it's not telling the same story. You know what I'm saying?
It's worth 5 emojis, though. That's the weird thing. The exchange rate is changing over time. The weird thing is here, I could go to like one of two different things I want to talk about today from this story.
Okay, you have a choice?
Do you want to go with in the AI surveillance state over chat, or do you want to move into weird shit about sex?
Okay.
For society?
You know what? Let's do the latter because it's too early for me to be thinking about our AI overlords.
I think that you chose weird things about sex shows the generation gap here because this story, I read this and I was like, what the hell is this?
It's Monday morning. Bring on the sex talk.
Then once again, we have a choose your own adventure here. I don't know whether to read you the article like lead or read you the headline.
Okay. Let me ask you this then.
Go ahead.
What am I going to get more upset about? Because it seems like I'm about to get real upset about something.
I think then if that's the punchline, I'll wait to read the headline to you. Okay, right? If that's what we're heading towards on this. Okay, I'm just going to read you about this movie. Are you familiar with the movie called One Night Only?
Yes, I've heard of it.
You have?
I've heard of it. It's a rom-com, which is always like a big swing in cinemas these days. It's got Callum Turner in it, and it's made by someone who's worked on a number of films that I was like, oh, yeah. Well, they have a great track record. I'm sure it's going to be a great movie.
Do you know the premise of the movie?
No.
Okay, I can read that to you here. Okay, this is from an article from Variety. The One Night Only director, Will Gluck, doesn't want you to overthink it. The filmmaker has been fielding a lot of inquiries about the premise, logic, and loopholes of his new movie, a raucous romantic comedy about the one night a year where premarital sex is legal. So it's like
is it like The Purge?
It's like The Purge, but for sex, for premarital sex, right? And the whole premise is there's this guy and a girl. One of the actors portrays Owen, a pizza shop owner whose long-term girlfriend decides she wants to sleep with other people on this special night. The two strangers keep running into each other during 12 hours of messy sexual mayhem in New York City. Okay, it has all the ingredients of almost like the early 2000s, like teen coming of age comedy with sexual mishaps all over the place. A romp, Ashley. A romp. That's what we would call that. A romp. A raucous night out. A raucous night out. A romp. You can picture this movie in your head, right? Okay. Here's the headline. One Night Only director Will Gluck cut out so much nudity from his film because people dislike seeing sex on screen. It takes you out of the movie. So now they took this premise and they're cutting out all the nudity from all the sex stuff. What's left? Because they don't want people to be upset about nudity on screen. What's left? What are we doing? What do? Why make the movie? Is this a 3-minute movie? Did you need to make the movie to get out of jail? Is that what happened? I mean, I get it. He talks about it in the article. We'll link the article if you want the justification for it. Everything he's saying makes sense. It's just like, it's weird, dude. We're weird. We're weird now about this kind of stuff. Why are we so weird about this?
Well, look, I mean, I know there's been the turn with a lot of like Gen Z not wanting like sex on screen, things like that, when they feel like it's quote unearned.
And Gen Alpha now,
right?
too.
Like it's just like it's gratuitous and not earned. I would say that sex doesn't have to be earned, but that's just me.
Go ahead. Let's go back to that.
But if you're going to have a movie with this kind of premise, I feel like you kind of got to go all in.
Right. Why make this movie, right? I mean, this is the whole point of the movie. It's just interesting to me.
I mean, from everything that I'm hearing, it's still a great movie, but that just makes me want like the director's cut, the unrated where's the NC-17 cut? Right, with all the boobs.
That would always be the case, right? Because then you'd get the version that goes to theaters, and then you get the unrated.
That's right. The DVD comes out unrated
that they can't show in theaters. They're not allowed to show it in theaters, right? And then it would be not that much worse at all. It wouldn't be bad at all. But it's funny to me because it's like I don't want to explore that Gen Z and Gen A that they don't want this kind of thing in movies. I want to explore why that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, what's so fundamentally different now?
I mean, I get that there's been there's been a lot of stories about that actresses will come out and tell about basically set stories from a couple decades ago, and people go, holy shit, that was right. Just like that just flew on set, like you were being assaulted like on camera and no one stopped any of this. And so I can get how people would then feel dirty watching it, feel like they're somehow complicit in this unhealthy environment for women. I actually totally get, and I respect that.
Well, you have to analyze the morality of every single thing that is produced, right?
Right. Or like, then you're like, you feel a responsibility to dig into how it was produced. And
right.
Was everyone really on board with this? Was everyone like having a good time and consenting? Or were some people being pressured, and did that make it weird?
Do you think that's what it is in the moment, though, when people see these moments on screen and they get really uncomfortable?
Maybe not. Maybe it's just that, I know that the younger generations at the moment are oddly, and this is an unusual trend, more conservative, more Puritan, as it were, than say like the Gen X and millennials were with that kind of thing. And I wonder how much of that is because they feel like they're not supposed to see that stuff, or if they do, they're a bad guy.
Right. And we've talked about this before because we're going to talk about AI. Sorry, in a second again. It's an interesting flip right now generationally. Or don't even use generations, just like young people versus old people. Old people used to be like, I'm not using this new technology. Get this shit away from me. I don't need this stuff. I never had it growing up. It's all just a waste of time. Now it's like old people are like pushing AI all over the place.
Learn how to do your math. You're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket.
I had a slide rule. That was good enough for me and an abacus. But now it's like young people saying, we don't want to use this technology. We don't want anything to do with it, right? And then it's like the moral stuff used to be pushed on you by the older generations. I feel like the moral stuff is being pushed on us by the younger generations, right? Or
I would agree with that.
A shift back to more conservative morals, I guess is the way to say that. Am I looking at that the right way? I
mean, that's the way I've certainly experienced it, and perhaps the youths can shed some light on why and how, because we're not the youths who feel that way, so we're on the outside looking in at that dynamic, and so our experience of it is probably very different.
Well, even like some of the stories like we've told in the past, like really innocuous things. We used to have a Game of Thrones watch party in our backyard. We'd set up a big screen and we'd all watch it. And one of the funny traditions of that was that when the warnings would come up before the episode of like,
yeah, like the content
violence,
warnings,
violence, adult situation, or nudity, everyone would cheer if there was nudity in it.
And sometimes wasn't there one that would be like extended nudity,
or something,
and everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, here we go,
super nudity or something." And if nudity wasn't in there, invariably someone would go, "Boo, boo," would boo it. But it's like, does that sound weird now? Are we weird? Are we weird now for doing stuff like that? Because we just thought it was silly.
Maybe, or are we now like, like the bra burning hippies that's like, nah, man, Love those tits. Love the dongs. Drop it all. Love yourself and love the bod.
Well, it's interesting, too, because we fell at a time growing up where we came after the hippies and the free love. It's weird to think of the hippies now being the boomers, though. Like, they had free love and all the drugs and everything. And then the first thing they did was tell us. Then they got pensions. Yeah, then they told us, like, do not have sex with anyone. You'll die. Don't do any drugs, all that stuff. And then it flipped, like, it was, like, dangerous, I felt like, to have sex when we were growing up. Yet we somehow managed. When I say growing up, I mean we were, like, coming of age in our late teens, early 20s. Now they've got everything. Like, I was shocked to see this. We haven't really talked about this because we have to be careful about these topics. But, like, these medications now, like PrEP and everything like that, which just make it, like, very easy for people to have hookups. I feel like we're seeing, like, in a lot of things, like we talk about K-shaped stuff. I think we're seeing, like, a K-shaped sexual activity as well.
Like, there's going to be some people who have no sex at all and some people who have sex for everyone.
They have all the sex.
Like, we have to, the metrics are falling. We have to make it up somehow. So we're going to have double the sex.
We had a story a long time ago, and I'll see if I can dig it up. I don't think we talked about this on air because we were worried about, like, gay panic and stuff like that. But we were just reading about this young gay guy, urban environment, and he was just, like, chronicling his life. And it was, like, I think it was something like 53 different partners in a year is what he had. It was one of these data is beautiful things.
Okay. So it was like charting out basically like the sexual partners over the course of a year.
No shame in this at all. But what shocked me, and I had to show to you, is that in the middle of the comments, they were talking about, like, well, like, we should, like, see more data, like, on your condom usage and stuff like that. He goes, oh, I don't like condoms. I don't use them. And that's when I learned about PrEP and stuff like that. And I don't want to put that out there as, like, because I don't want to put anyone in a situation where they have dangerous behavior or anything like that. I was just shocked to learn at what exists out there now for people to have, like, these hookups and be completely unprotected and feel safe. It's just a different world. I haven't been in that world for a long time.
See, my takeaway from all those statistics was that sounds exhausting. I have to meet 50 people that I like enough to have sex with.
That's a job.
Who's got time for that?
I'll have to see if I can go back and find that. It's probably somewhere in I think removed from Data is Beautiful because of content. You know, the moderators probably pulled that out, but it's probably somewhere in the chat. I'll see if I can find it. At the very least, when Reddit removes something, it's, like, removed, but you just kind of can't see it. Like, if you ever made a comment on it.
But the record of it is still there.
You can still go back to see it. Like, I think I made a comment in that one. I think I asked for the guy's number. So. Okay.
Tell me more.
DM me. I want to interview you about stuff. All right, that brings me to my other topic, which is this is one also. It's interesting. It's on the other end of the spectrum of, like, moral behavior and stuff like that. A lady was 22 years old. She's a student teacher, which, by the way, sounds way too young to be teaching.
To be a student teacher?
22, but I guess it's completely normal. You know, my friends, when they graduated from college, they went off and got student teaching jobs at 22. God, it feels so young to me. So we had a long sponsor chat this weekend. It was almost an hour long. And because we were focusing on Spiderman Brand New Day, I don't like to have a sponsor chat where people would have to pay to go see something else in order to enjoy our sponsor chat. So the first half, we talked about, like, movie scores and stuff like that, and then went into the spoiler stuff about Spider-Man. But we were listening to MGMT because that was on the playlist for one of the Spider-Man movies. And those kids, we learn now, are 43 years old.
Which, when we were listening to that music, we were like, yeah, we're so young and we're so hip. And now it's like, oh no, they are the same age that we are. They
did not
grew
lock
up,
in time.
They've probably got, like, gray hair. But at the time of that song, they were immortal. We were all immortal.
They wake up and bitch about the market. They just seem like such young kids to me.
They're complaining about the lack of sex in One Night Only.
I couldn't help but send that to Becca Fraser, and she was just like, ugh. Then she was quoting MGMT lyrics about being old, basically.
Yeah.
About your life being over and stuff like that. But so this young lady, she's 22 years old. She's a student teacher. Do you have where she's from in there? Does it have her location? They kind of anonymized her whole thing, and you'll find out why in a second. A kid closed her laptop.
Yeah, Illinois,
and ruined her lesson plan. She was working on her lesson plan. And if you're a teacher and educator, my parents were, dude, that sucks. If this kid, like, ruined her lesson plan and deleted it. So she was chatting with her boyfriend and some other friends in, like, a Snapchat group. And she said, oh my God, this kid, like, closed my laptop. They don't actually have the text. So I'm kind of paraphrasing from pieced together reports here from this article. She said basically, like, what do you guys think? Should I shoot him? Within an hour, cops were at the school. And what they determined was that...
Not just cops, the FBI was at the school.
The FBI was at the school. They showed up, yeah, and it was just like... It makes sense on paper when you hear about it. Snapchat has certain things that they monitor for, and when certain phrases show up, which I'm assuming school and shooting would be one of those things, they flag it and they send it to the authorities. And they showed up, which... You can understand why they would have that, but man, do we want to be living in a society where every bit of communication that we have with people in a private, not public conversation, gets monitored and then, determined whether or not it's violent speech.
And yet, like on the flip side of that, you hear headlines as well about how like someone was arrested with a bunch of like guns in the backseat of their truck and they found them before the thing happened.
Correct.
Because like they talked to someone or they sent a message to someone or like for whatever reason, a lot of times it's like, thankfully it's like a family member calls and is like, there's something really wrong here. You guys, I need your help. But that there are situations where things can be prevented by having these monitoring systems in place. And yet it is an indication that what it means is nothing is private.
Yeah,
your private stuff is not private.
That's actually in the news right now because the person who has been charged with setting the fire in Spokane, which is just taken off. It's a massive fire in Washington. They have the guy. They think they have the guy that started it, which is like people are just calling for his head. But once again, in and out of jail, I believe one of the charges he had in the past was that he was charged with murdering his own father. And when something big happens, then you're always like, why didn't we put a stop to this before? Right? Exactly what you're saying. But
right.
When you make those kind of statements, it's like everything that comes along with trying to stop things before is nothing that anybody wants, right? So you have to find that balance, but it's an impossible balance to find.
Right. I mean, and this has been explored plenty of times, like in fiction, like with Minority Report and stuff. Like if you stop things before they happen, can you guarantee they were going to happen?
Yeah.
And then how do you prosecute that? But if you've already started the fire, that's pretty cut and dry.
Right. Well, we're a little bit behind the times now. I think it's okay to talk about Brand New Day. I had to rush out and go see it on Friday because I realized I was this closing window of when spoilers were no longer allowed, and I was about to be trapped in the room with spoilers. Basically.
Right. Are the spoilers in the room with you?
Right. It was Indiana Jones.
Where it's like people will give you like maybe like a week, and then now out come all the articles discussing all the things that are in the movie. So they're like, you had like this grace window. So you did go and see it.
And
so
I'm glad I did. I'm glad
it.
I preserved my own experience and I'm glad I went and saw it. I'm also okay with people talking about spoilers after 2 weekends. If you're not going to see it in the first 2 weekends, people got to be able to discuss what happens in their lives and a cultural thing without waiting for you to decide whether or not you want to participate in it.
Yeah,
right?
which I totally understand. Like there are a lot of movies that have come out and I've learned much more about them than I would have preferred to because I didn't get out to see them, and that's on me. That's right. Like that's because like I didn't make the time. Other people made the time.
That being said, don't tune out. We're not going to talk about spoilers for.
No, we're not. But you're not the only one who rushed out to see it. It had a really great second weekend. I want to say it's now past $1.6 billion at the box office, so it's doing well. It's probably on track to break $2 billion, which is pretty good for a movie. Remember, it wasn't that long ago. Everyone was like, "Oh no, theaters in crisis," and now they're up like 20% this year. Largely thanks to
not Warner Brothers.
Really?
Warner Brothers just reported disastrous numbers because of Supergirl and The Bride. Apparently, they were like leaning on Bride. They were leaning on The Bride.
Is this like a Bride
numbers.
of Frankenstein?
I think so. I think it's an interpretation.
Okay,
of that,
well,
yeah.
I didn't know anything about it, so that's maybe problematic.
Nor did I. Yeah.
But it's overall. Theatrical is doing great. People are seeing these two movies in particular that are the pillars of the box office at the moment.
Well, Tom Holland, I read now, is in all of the top 4 biggest opening movies of all time now. So he's got to be the biggest star right now.
I mean, he's certainly doing good.
He's doing well. Yeah. let me check my notes.
He's doing good.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing good for an actor.
They just had their second wedding.
Thumbs up for me. I liked it. What do you mean second wedding? They got married again?
Yeah. They got married again over the weekend.
They got married in secret?
Yep.
Oh. This was the
they got married. I think they got like married sort of more or less in secret, and then they got married again more or less in secret.
Oh, okay.
But with like less secret this time.
Right. They cut out all the nudity from this one so that they could publish it in like Gen Z's version of Tiger Beat, whatever the hell that is. Then the FBI showed up for some reason. We don't know why.
It was weird.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it very much. I did make a weird call on this one, which the third act I felt was pretty long. That's not a spoiler or anything. I just thought the pacing was off, but it was one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I still think Homecoming probably wins it for me, although the villain in Homecoming was okay, not great, but I just loved it so much.
What is it about Homecoming that this got you so much?
I felt like they got Spidey right.
Okay.
Is what I liked. And it was like so refreshing to see. It's like the Spider-Man version. I always liked the other ones as well. I like the Tobey Maguire ones more than the Andrew Garfield ones. But for some reason, the Spider-Man that I grew up with watching, I felt like the Tom Holland version of that is more, aside from the no Daily Bugle stuff, right?
Right. Did it help for you that they just skipped straight through the origin and just started with him as Spidey?
No, just the tone of it was just like, right. Like he's like kind of like, very wholesome and goofy a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a wholesome, nice kid doing his best kind of thing.
Yeah, he's like not an action hero. He's kind of hero to whom action seems to happen.
He just happens to find himself in extraordinary situations.
Literally the dumbest criticism I've ever said about any movie of all time. But I like him. I did make a call though. I was wondering how long is it before we're in a movie theater and they display movies and they have a progress bar at the bottom of them, like a little like where you are in the movie.
I hate everything about that idea, and I think part of the reason
happen at some point.
Part of the reason that I hate it is because it seems possible.
It does. Oops, I'm clinking glasses over here. Sorry. I got a whole like table full of like old coffee mugs.
You've got like 3 days worth of cups.
I do. I like it. I'm building a collection over here. Well, actually, what else is going on in the world? It seems like a lot of the major headlines are all just like on repeat at this point. Like everything, like they're rejecting the peace proposal in Iran and in Gaza as well. And it's just like it's just like on a loop at this point, everything that's going on there. There's a new attorney general, so,
Oh, did they confirm it?
Circus got a new clown. Yeah, they confirmed it overnight. I think the Senate vote was 50-49, so it was by the slimmest of margins.
Okay, well, if you want to get distracted by something truly stupid, Bernie, I have a question for you.
Please.
You bought some, so we went on a nice little Costco run, and you took a risk. You took a gamble. And you bought a flavor of Monster energy drinks that you'd never seen before.
I don't know what I was thinking when I did that. I was drunk.
The part of the challenge is that they don't actually name the flavor. It's the Lando Norris Monster energy drinks.
It is a giant can of Monster with a leopard skin print on the outside.
And what do you think Lando Norris tastes like?
I thought he tasted like tropical fruit. We were trying to figure this out.
That's about as close as we got, right? And
you get in Costco, they get you. You're going down those aisles, and suddenly a pallet. What was it, like 12 of those giant
Yeah, it was
Monsters?
just like an end cap pallet of this case of Monsters, and you were like, meh.
You're like, that's a bargain. I got to get that. So now I'm stuck drinking these Lando Morris. I don't even know who Lando Morris is.
Hold on, I'm going to look this up. Lando Morris. Who is Lando Morris? Now normally when you get someone to advertise your drink, if you're going to name it after them, like the 50 cent vitamin water, whatever, are you usually using like their name recognition to sell your drink?
Yes.
We're actually learning about Lando Norris because of his delicious tropical flavors.
By the way, there's also no fitty flavor of vitamin water. He's just the spokesperson for it. This is Lando Norris flavored. I don't know. That's interesting to me.
But no, there was a 50 cent flavor, wasn't there?
I don't think there was. Was there?
I think it was pink. Lando Norris is a British racing driver. He's an F1 driver for McLaren.
That would 100% make sense why I don't know who he is.
Does it taste fast?
No, it doesn't taste at all. It looks like in the outside of the can, it looks like I'm drinking a club DJ or something.
Hold on, what is Lando Norris? I'm going to find out what the official flavoring is supposed to be.
I found out what it is. I know what it is.
What is it?
It's something I don't know what it is. Yuzu? You love
yuzu. What is yuzu?
It's like yuzu and melon is what it is. And so that's what I was drinking. I miss my white Monsters. I made a bad choice.
But now you got to drink every sip of Lando Norris.
It's like 20 gallons.
Until you get to go back to your white Monster.
Exactly. I went outside my lane and I got punished for it. See, I tried something new. That'll teach me.
It's fun tasting those things, though, when you know so little about them and you're like, I'm getting I don't know. It tastes like they just went down the tropical fruit aisle at the grocery store and they just scooped them all up and put them in a blender.
You ever have a friend,
it's not all fruit. It tastes tropical.
Who goes like, here, try this. And you go, okay. And you take a sip of it. And you're like, oh, that's awful. They go, right? It's terrible. You're like, why did you give that to me?
Do you hate me?
That's a good litmus test for who's a good friend and who's not. It's like, yeah, that tastes spoiled, doesn't it? It's like, you fucking asshole.
Did you get any chunks? I got some chunks.
I had you taste this, though, because I needed your help to identify it. Flavor's weird. Flavor's like 80% mental.
It is, because a lot of times I'll drink something or I'll eat something and I'm like, yeah, no, it's delightful. And people will be like, can you taste the notes of chocolate? And I'm like,
I can.
I think, no, I'm getting that. But you have to tell me what I'm about to taste. Otherwise, I'm just going to go like, yeah, that tastes.
Yeah, unless it's like something like a Jelly Belly jelly bean where they like overpower the flavor. But most of the time when something is flavored like something else.
Even the Jelly Bellies, there's a couple that I can I'm like, yeah, that one was definitely buttered popcorn. Unlike this one, this was toasted marshmallow. But there are a bunch of them I'm like, blue? I don't know, it tasted blue.
See, here's the problem with the buttered popcorn Jelly Belly, right? Is it didn't work like this where you said,
now we're getting into the serious topics.
Let's get into the serious topics here. You try the buttered popcorn Jelly Belly. You don't ever try that blind. You say, what the hell? There's a buttered popcorn jelly bean? I'll try that. Then you try it and you go, oh, it does taste like buttered popcorn. What we got to do is find someone who doesn't know that flavor exists, give it to them and say, what does that taste like? And they'll go like, this is like an Amazon box, or something, unless it was in your head. That's what I'm saying. You have to know it. Once it's in your head, you're like, oh, I taste that. But when you don't know what it is and you're trying to taste it, unless it's something like overpowering.
But when it could be like any of 32 different things, it's not so easy.
Well, not even the 32. It could be one of an infinite number of things, like yuzu and melon, for instance. And we didn't know what this was. And we were like, this is pina colada or tropical punch or something like that.
Yeah, yuzu, by the way, it looks like a yellow clementine.
It looks like a yellow clementine.
Yep.
Boy, you really narrowed that down for me. Thanks.
You're welcome.
What's a clementine?
That's like the little orange. That's an easy peeler.
What's the difference between a clementine and a tangerine? What's the difference between a peach and an apricot? While we're on this, it's the same thing, right?
No, they're not the same thing. I would never bite into an apricot and go, what? This is a delicious peach.
Okay, so look, we got oranges, we got tangerines, we got clementines, and we got, what's the other one? Nectarine. There's nectarines as well. Is a nectarine a clementine?
No, hold on.
Like, we have all the different kinds of apples, but they're all apples. We don't pretend like they're different fruits, right?
Right.
You got all the varieties of apple. Are all those ones varieties of orange?
I assume that a lot of them are the result of like cross-pollination or like, like different species breeding amongst themselves. Here we go. Peaches are bigger than apricots, and they have a completely different flesh, and they have a completely different skin on the outside, like apricots don't have the fuzz.
Don't say flesh and fuzz. Gen Z's going to turn off our podcast. We'll cut all this. This will be in the unrated version that we're going to put out later.
I assumed that they turned off when they were like, at the very beginning when they're like, they don't get us at all.
All right, Ashley, who is going to be the newest flavor of Monster drinks going forward?
All right, shout out to our tastiest sponsors, Mikey, TKO, and that person. Thank you both so much for sponsoring this episode of our show at patreon.com/morningsomewhere and roosterteeth.com.
A delicate mix of tangerine and lychee. All right, that does it for us today, August 10th, 2026. We will be back. Talk to you tomorrow. We hope you will be here as well.
Bye, everybody.